So, Franklin, do you want to start?
Yeah, no pressure. Right? So, Rajesh, can you share a bit about your personal journey in entering the blockchain industry? What actually motivates you to be part of that industry?
I started my career in the manufacturing industry. I'm not really a typical IT guy. I worked in manufacturing. I started in an electronics relay manufacturing company. Then I worked in a tire manufacturing company and then a surgical glove manufacturing company. My job was basically looking after the shift. And then most of the manufacturing, it was in India. Okay, it's like 3 shifts, so you have to like work all day. And I was shift in charge, so basically I need to look after the production quality and all. And every day, once you finish the shift, like in the morning, you have to write the daily reports. It's not easy because we use the calculator, and it's not easy to do it in the 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, and always we make mistake. And there's a say that if you wanted to get the things done like quickly, you need to find a lazy person. So I was like that person. So I was very frustrated about like this job. So I tried to find out a shortcut. Okay. So I did a spreadsheet with some calculations on, and then I put like the numbers, and then I got the report straight away. That was my first thing to the program, the real application of software. And then because I did that, the original purpose was to just create the report. But since I have all this data in there, I managed to analyze how the production is going. And I understand that like some days, like the production quality is not great because of some other parameters. So we changed the parameters and we managed to raise the good quality products, which actually saves money for the company. So company said, okay, that's great. So we keep on doing the similar thing. So I started like doing some coding. I did some software. And then I understand this is something I like the most. This is something I enjoy most. So I wanted to move to IT. But the problem was because my background was more like engineering side of it. So if I wanted to do a programming job, I need to have a programming degree, a software degree. So I moved here in the UK and I started a software degree. I did a master's in software technology and I started working as a programmer. And before joining that job, I always love coding. I enjoy coding. This is something I do when I get free time. And then my thinking was, okay, so once I get the job, then I can do whatever I like, and also I get paid. That's the great thing. That was my thinking. But in reality, when you start working on a company, that's not the case. Because you'll be like fixing bugs all the time. You won't be able to like do cool stuff. So I worked about 9 years, 7 to 9 years. And that period of time, lots of things changed. Apple released iPhone. The new job created like app developers. And I was actually staying away from all these technology changes because I was fixing bugs for this payroll all the time. And it was very boring. Then I thought what's the point of wasting your talent and time? I mean, I basically because I could code when I'm sleeping because I was more comfortable in what I was doing. But I got a feeling that I'm wasting my talent or thing. And then I thought, okay, I need to leave this job. I need to do something which I can see the result. Not just like a payroll, because payroll has been there for 40, 50 years and everyone knows what is that. So I wanted to do something which I can see the results. So then I left the job and then I was exploring different technologies and blockchain came to my mind because blockchain creates immutable and transparent transactions. So it's basically you can use in different areas. And the first thing caught in my mind is food traceability because I have 2 kids and then I always think about what my kids eat. So I wanted to see what's happening behind the scene. So I started developing applications using this technology, and then it was a difficult journey to starting a business. We all know that, but if you don't give up, then that's the success. The secret behind the success. Don't give up. So then I started building system, and then I started building the team, and then you get the customers, and that's how I ended up in blockchain. Sorry, it was a bit long story.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. And a couple of things you just pulled out from there is obviously you try and eliminate lazy people. Brilliant. How do you motivate yourself? Did you used to aid help from coffee? Because I'm just wondering, you're non-stop.
Coffee is the best fun for the developers. We always drink coffee.
Coffee's the lifeblood, isn't it? Yeah. But it's quite clear that out of a passion and something you're really passionate about was born the business. So.
Yeah, but the thing is when you're starting up a business, if you're aiming for the money, you will never get satisfied because you don't get money anyway. So you need something. No, I mean if you are following money, there's always there are some times we feel we are really down, and then we will look for other options to get the money. But we need to have a passion of something what you're doing, so that keep you going, because the entrepreneurial journey is always ups and downs. So you need to have some passion. The money will follow.
Brilliant.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you heard it correctly.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. And so could you kind of give us your experience on diversity inclusion within blockchain sector or industry?
Yeah, the blockchain sector, because it's a very new technology, you can't really find, it's difficult to find the talent. So definitely you need to look for the other market as well. And then because when I started this business, I was looking for developers from locally, and I couldn't find anyone. And first I looked in Aberdeen, then I looked in Scotland White, and again I couldn't find anyone. And then I finally got somebody from India. I mean, I'm originally from India, but I didn't really have a connection there at that point. But I find them through online and all. So then I thought actually we need a diversity. Then only we can make great products. And also it opens up a bigger market. So yeah, blockchain again it's difficult to find local resources. It's always better to go globally, and also that culture will give us something in a greatness.
Just to add on to that question, then you mentioned culture, which is really key. And what I've seen you post on LinkedIn about your diverse team in India, what comes across is you sort of have a really, really embedded, brilliant culture. So is that because it was a conscious decision to make that culture, or did you see it and you want to replicate it? Where did it come from?
I mean, when I was working in my previous company, and I was made redundant, and then the reason, I was really good in what I was doing. I'm not really boasting or anything, because that's something I love the most. But when you made redundant, you think back and you say you worked really hard for the company, and they didn't really care. I'm not really saying about my previous company; they're good, but because it's broadcasting. But that time I made a decision. If I make a company, I don't really see people as numbers. I see people as people, because we all have family, and I know some of my colleagues worked for the company for over 40 years. They started even before I born at that time, and then they had to leave when the company closes down. So company don't really care about your family life. So when I thought when I start a company, I see people as people, and then and also my staff, I see myself when them. So because if I bluff with them, then if somebody talking rubbish, I know what they are talking about. So I need transparency, because in our company website we says transparency, trust, innovation. I try to follow those words. So transparency, try to be transparent as much as possible. But some things we need to hide from them, but I can try to be transparent, don't lie to them. Yeah. And also that will create the trust. Yeah. And the other thing in my team, I don't know if you notice or not, more than half of my team members are women, and they all have family and they're looking after the kids. This is very unusual in blockchain. If you look at any company in the world, you don't see any company with more than 50% of women, and not even more than 50%. Most of the companies you may see 1 or 2 women, and everyone says because this the deep tech is not for women. That's completely wrong, because most of my projects is really cool project and really deep tech projects are done by women, and they did all this project management, and I can completely trust them. The reason is, I always follow the new things, and I don't really stick on with that. So I know this is one of the the character with the men, they don't stick on one thing, they always keep following the other thing. Yeah. But if I give a job to a woman, because they do a lot of things in one time, they look after their the family, look after the kids, and they do the job and all these things. So they know the responsibility. They finish the work no matter what. so that I know that, so I can trust my team members.
Brilliant, thank you. Franklin?
So should I be my girlfriend now? Just a joke, actually. The next question, I'm just imagining it now. All of us are, in terms of how we classify ourselves in the UK, black and minority, right? We come to this country and you started blockchain. How were you able to start it? Was it not overwhelming? And we had this discussion 3 years ago, and so because the question is saying, what are the challenges and opportunities that you have encountered? And the way I want you to answer that question is that we have a lot of people who are new here, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 months, 6 months, they have crazy ideas, but they just come to the UK, oh, this is a big market, how can I fly in? So let's use that way you fly in, and you are the #1 blockchain guy in the world of Scotland. How do you do that? What are the challenges and opportunities?
there's always challenges. And also, like being an ethnic minority, the challenges will be much more. The thing is, because you listen to me because you know me personally. So if you know people in person, there will be a trust built between them. So then they will listen to you. But if you come to a new place, nobody knows you. So first you need to build the trust before you say something, because they don't know whether you're bluffing or whether your background or anything. So that is not easy as a minority. But it will, even though like it will take time, but you can easily build it. Like the resilience is the key. And also what I find in Scotland, especially in Aberdeen, this is like my home now. When I studied this building, this used to be Robert Gordon's University's engineering building, and my office is down there. And all, I know you all are like my friends, so this is like my home. But it takes some time, so don't give up. Like like maybe when you're like talking to someone about like your business idea, and maybe they don't really give you like that feedback, really good feedback, because they don't really know you. But eventually, like they will know you, they will know your potential, and then you can build that. So it takes some time, but be patient, and then like keep on doing it.
How long? Because, and I'll tell you why. When you say something, visa, all of that. How long?
I know. Yeah, there are. I mean, I also had the same problem, but don't give up the hope.
So don't what? Don't give up.
The one other thing I'll tell you, like when I came here, like I wanted to do a software degree, and then I joined the MSc Software Technology. Every single friend of mine, like they said, you're making a mistake because nobody got a job as a programmer here in Aberdeen from India. So do something else, go for the oil and gas because that's much easier to do. But I don't want oil and gas, I want like programming. But I graduated in December and I started work on February. But I actually went for like a lot of interviews before, but anyway, but people are different, because they are talking their point of view, but you're completely different. So maybe like when you're talking an idea to somebody, they say, oh, no, that's not going to work, because they are talking from their perspective. They don't know like your resilience or your potential or anything. So, believe in yourself, keep on going, and then, okay, you can take advice, but you don't really need to judge yourself based on other people's advice.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Franklin. So it's quite evident you're passionate about the people you work with. You want to drive a fantastic culture, which is brilliant. My life is ruled by females as well, so I completely understand the trust part. Yeah, absolutely. But I would say, I'd like to ask you, how do you feel that your business and blockchain will impact the communities that we operate in?
Yeah, blockchain, I don't know like if everyone is familiar with the blockchain. Blockchain is basically a transparent and immutable ledger. Basically, you can store an information in a transparent and immutable way. That is more like a democratic way of sharing the information. It can actually, blockchain is very useful for the community who are underserved. Like, so for example, like in the UK, we all have access to the bank, but that's not the case for the other part of the world. Some part of the world, like we don't have access to the bank. So in that case, like we can use the cryptocurrencies. Like cryptocurrency, everyone can have access, and nobody is regulating that thing. Like all you need is like a wallet, and you can easily transfer money between us. And I'm originally from India, and I moved about like 18 years ago. And then last time when I went to India, I was really surprised to see the technological advancement happen in India. And in India, like you have a unified payment interface kind of thing. Like there are lots of apps. Basically, you can transfer money using like mobile apps. And then I was surprised because when I went to buy some food, the street vendors, like people are like selling vegetables in the streets, they can easily take the money using this just a QR code. They don't really need a device, or they don't need to pay money to bank for each and every transaction. And it's happening all over the India. Like it's growing really fast. And we can do the same thing with the blockchain. So this one works with the bank, but the blockchain, you don't need the bank. You can use the blockchain like for transfer that. So that will give access to many people into this fintech ecosystem. And the other thing, your data. So right now we are in the world of Web 2. Web 2 means like the bigger companies are holding your data. So you are their product basically. So Facebook, Google, whatever like you're using it for free, but they are taking your data and they're making money with your data. But blockchain is the underlying technology for the Web 3. So with the Web 3 is you own your data. Excuse me. So this is another thing, like your identity. So you're coming like as an ethnic minority person, like originally came from India. So I have some medical records in India. And when I come here, like then I go to NHS, and then I'll have like medical records here and here. And if I go to another country, then I'll have like medical record different place. So basically our medical records, our data is held by the government or like some organization. There's no way we can integrate with the other country. Whereas if it is on a blockchain, you can hold all your data and you can take the data with you. You can integrate with anywhere in the world. So you basically own your data and you have full control of it. And so that's another application for, there are lots and lots, but and also food traceability or like, so if you're a farmer and this is what happened like in India as well, like farmers actually don't really get much profit because the intermediate take all this profit because the end user don't have the complete visibility how things are done. But if you can like integrate a blockchain in between then we can eliminate the intermediate and we can give like maximum profit to the farmer and that will encourage like more farmers to come to the and like they get like, profit. So there are lots and lots of applications for blockchain in this field. Yeah. So if I talk like I'll just talk forever. So I'm stopping here now.
No, that's fine. I totally agree. I think the first time we met, within 5 minutes, you had created a Bitcoin for me and Natalie, Nitcoin. Yeah. So if you guys want to know about that, we're kind of wanting to do. Yeah. So yeah. But no, yeah, absolutely. You can see the impacts that one. Franklin.
Yeah. So even though you've answered this question, but I just want to think now. When we're discussing downstairs, and one thing kept coming up that where are the talents? Yeah. So how do we, if we're, again, I'm a crazy guy, I like this city first, all of that. So how can we build this city to become a blockchain city? Because we know whether the talent is there, you are the big boss. So how do we build, because we are talking about that downstairs, how do we build the talent, all of that?
Yeah, the thing is, first we need to educate them the potential of that technology. And then we need companies to adapt that technology. And because I'm a programmer, I've always been like programmer. I mean, worked many years as a programmer. So when I was working here in a company, I was using a programming language called Progress. Nobody ever heard about it. I didn't even hear about it before I joined there. But most of the companies here in Aberdeen were using Microsoft technologies, .NET, C#, ASP.NET, and that type of thing. And then I started learning C# because I wanted to get a job here. So I understand, okay, if I learn C#, it's much easier for me to get the job. Now in the blockchain, so who will learn blockchain if there is no job available? So because obviously we need money to live and then we are looking for career. So first we need to do is we need to educate the company the potential of blockchain. And again, like we need to build the ecosystem and we need to build some software applications. Then companies know that, okay, yeah, this technology is actually solving some problems we are having. And then software companies will follow because they say, yeah, there is a big market there. So we need talent. And then developer will follow. So rather than just I'm teaching developers coding about blockchain and no company is using, then they will move away from Scotland. That we don't want that. So basically we need to educate people about the technology and about the advantage of this technology and build some showcase pilot projects, and then that will encourage more software companies to come into this ecosystem, and then developers will definitely, developers are very clever. They will learn things very quickly.
Thank you very much. I hope Edinburgh will not steal this idea. So over to you.
Yeah, good. So we have a really good room mixtures of people wanting to start a business, or do have a business. But have you got any tips or advice that you could give when it comes to building a professional network and networking within sort of blockchain communities?
Yeah, I'm really interested in that space. Knowledge, and when you share knowledge, we learn more. We get more, basically. So because when you are speaking about technology, we get a lot of questions, and then we think about like some areas we never think about before. So yeah, that's I'm very interested in sharing knowledge between others and also discussing things.
And any tips for anyone that's wanting to start networking and build their own network?
One of the tips, it's not about networking. It's one thing I always remember. It's a quote from Charles Darwin. It's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent species that survive. It is the one who are most adaptable to change. So we are all adaptable. Brilliant. So nobody can stop you. So go ahead with your engine. That's my tip.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. So,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.